Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today we're breaking down Iron Man issue number 6, a story where Tony Stark is caught in one of the most dangerous political games of his life. This issue is full of betrayal, espionage, and armored beatdowns, so let's get into it. So we kick this off in Dagestan, now part of a Russian province called United Latveria. Yeah, Victor Von Doom runs the show now. Tony gets out of a car in the middle of this snowy wasteland to meet up with a leader of the Latverian Patriotic Front, a rebel militia trying to overthrow Doom. And this guy, who calls himself Hunyadi, is dead serious. He wants to take down Doom and isn't afraid to get real bloody doing it. But here's where things get spicy. Hunyadi tells Tony that to prove his loyalty, he has to straight up execute a man named Vishtu Taru, a former member of the LPF. They say he betrayed them by cultivating a forbidden power. Probably magic. Wild, right? But Tony, of course, plays it cool. He says, "Hey, before I murder anyone, let me hear your plan." Hunyadi lays out his master plan to take down Doom. Not through direct combat, because let's be real, Doom would wipe the floor with them. Instead, they want to starve Doom out with a siege, cutting off his city, Doomstat, and using Stark missiles to get the job done. And here's where Tony's spidey sense, or should I say iron sense, starts tingling, because they don't just want Tony's tech, they want to trick him into arming Doom himself, so the rebels can later steal the weapons and use them against him. Tony straight up says, "I'm not comfortable with this. I'm trying to get out of the weapons game." But before they can argue more, boom, an explosion rips through the place. Enter the freaking Winter Guard, Russia's answer to the Avengers, led by Red Widow, and they are not messing around. Red Widow even says they're there to kill Tony for collaborating with traitors. Now Tony, who didn't bring his suit, or so they think, hits his briefcase and bam, the Iron Man armor deploys. He starts laying waste to Winter Guard, joking mid-flight about starting a podcast called Iterative Iron Man. Classic Tony Stark flex, right? But here comes Ursa Major, a giant bear man, and Tony, he roasts him. He's like, "Is it wrong that I want to cuddle you?" Then he grabs him, flies him up high, and just drops him. But he's nice enough to give him a soft landing. Now here's where things get real. As Red Widow corners Hunyadi, ready to make her pitch for Russian control over Latveria, boom, a sniper shot, out of nowhere. And who's on the scene? Black Widow herself, Natasha Romanoff, folks. And she's like, "Tony, I'm here to save you from yourself." Tony's like, "Nat, what are you doing?" She's like, "Keeping you from sponsoring terrorists." Meanwhile, they grab Vishtu, the guy Tony refused to kill, and get the heck out of there. Nat and Tony double team the Winter Guard, take them down with repulsors and her Widow's Bite, and escape in the Quinjet. Nat's like, "Tony, what are you even doing? You were about to give terrorists weapons." Tony fires back, "You don't understand. Doom's taken over the world. This is our only shot." Natasha, calm but fierce, says, "You've got to trust the Avengers, not terrorists." And Tony's like, "Do I though?" And you think that's where it ends. Nah. Here's the kicker. In the final pages, we see a man, likely Tony, standing before a boardroom saying that Stark Unlimited will become the sole weapons supplier to Victor Von Doom. Did Stark Unlimited just make a deal with the devil? Is this a play? Is it real? Either way, Tony's in deep. So to recap, Tony Stark meets with a rebel army in Dagestan that wants to overthrow Doom, but they expect Tony to supply them with Stark missiles, potentially arming a group just as dangerous. When Tony hesitates, the Winter Guard crashes the meeting, leading to an all-out fight where Iron Man suits up and takes on Ursa Major, Crimson Dynamo, Red Widow, and Vanguard. Black Widow shows up just in time to save Tony from himself, and together, they rescue a prisoner named Vishtu, whom the rebels wanted Tony to execute. But even after escaping, Tony is left conflicted, realizing that maybe destabilizing Doom's empire is the only way to fight back. And if that wasn't enough, the final scene hits hard, as we see a boardroom conversation hinting that Stark Unlimited may actually become Doom's personal weapon supplier. So where does Tony stand? Is he playing Doom, or has he been backed into a corner with no other choice? Guys, this story is heating up fast, and the next issue is bound to reveal if Tony's crossing a line he can't come back from. Let me know down in the comments, is Tony making the right call, or is he about to make things worse? If you love this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next chapter of this wild ride. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.